From downtown Scranton, this is Northeast Current with John Baldino. WQPX invites you to join John and his guests as they explore public affairs, current events, and arts and culture in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now, let's meet today's guests on Northeast Current.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Northeast Current. I'm your host, Tony Schwartz, and today we're going to talk about, well, the old adage, laughter is the best medicine, is it? We're going to find out. We're going to find out with our guest today, Jeannine Luby. Jeannine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do? Because I'll mess it up if I try to explain.
Okay, all right. Well, I have a business called Laugh to Live, and I promote laughter and wellness for not just entertainment, but for the wellness benefits for the mind, the body, and the spirit. And in addition to performing, I do stand-up comedy and improv comedy. I also do what's called laughter yoga. And laughter yoga is laughter for the sake of laughing. It was started by a medical doctor in India in 1995, and his whole idea is that based on the research that's out there that is citing all different things that laughter can help do, burn calories, help with pain management, diabetes, our immune systems, it gives a boost to that, all these different wellness benefits. He said, I want people to really be taking time to do it just like any other exercise, like walking or running that's good for us. So he started laughter yoga, and it's really laughing as a choice. We choose to laugh, and sometimes he uses the motto, fake it till you make it. You get people together, and it's kind of like a fake or pretend or simulated laughter in the beginning. Just start going ha 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 ha. But when you're doing it in a group, every time I lead it, almost all the time, it turns into genuine laughter because you're looking at one another and it's like, wow, this is playful and kind of ridiculous, and it's spontaneous and it's very contagious. You can't help but genuinely laugh. And Dr. Kataриa's belief is that even if you don't turn it into real laughter, which everyone almost does, even if you don't, the body doesn't know the difference between what's a simulated laughter or what's real laughter in response to a joke, for example, that we still get the benefits of it.
Really? So you can trick the body?
You can trick the body. The body, I mean, you think about it, the heart's not in there going, hey, wait a minute, that's not a joke. You know, it just knows the physiological effects because it's a lot about the breath in and out. When we laugh, we get rid of a lot of the toxins that are in our lungs. I mean, most of us walk around, I know myself, we rarely take an opportunity to take a really deep breath because we're always running around, we're stressed, we're driving around, we're just, always, oh, what time is it, where do I have to be? But with laughter, you're exhaling a lot, just like regular yoga. You're inhaling and exhaling a lot, and you're getting rid of a lot of toxins. So that alone is great for our breathing, it's great for our blood flow, it helps us be more energetic. So at 2 o'clock when you're ready to crash at work, instead of going maybe for a coffee or a Red Bull, you can go outside and laugh, depending on if you care what people think about you, can just start like, walking in the street.
Okay, so I want to know then, how do you convince somebody that they want to do laughter yoga? If somebody said to me, a guy, especially a guy, I'm looking at you from...
You are the tougher audience.
That's okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If somebody said to me, come on, let's go to laughter yoga, I'd find something else to do. So how do you convince people this is something that you want to do?
Well, I would say, first of all, I don't convince because I can...
How do you generate interest?
I was going to say, I can do that, but the one thing I've learned from doing it now for the past probably about 6 years is that in the beginning I used to take it personally if people were like looking at me skeptically or not wanting to participate. But now, after talking with some people and realizing myself that really I'm just sharing this.
Right.
And I hope that people will share and get what they can out of it. If they're not a believer or if they take themselves too seriously, because this is very playful, that's something that's more on their behavior or their thought pattern that I can't really change per se. I can only present it. Now you're right in saying, as a guy, of all the audiences I've done it for, your age group and men are tough. Younger guys have fun with it. Older guys at senior centers are a riot. They love it, but it's that like 30s, 40s, 50s in the workplace. I've done it at workplace, and they kind of are skeptical because they don't want to look silly a lot of times. They don't want to let themselves, where women do that much easier. So that, I honestly can't give you an answer other than for me to say the benefits are there, and that when I do lead a session, I will say, you know what, we're all going to look a little ridiculous, but we're going to do it together. And I also like to lay down some ground rules that if someone doesn't want to participate, in a group, that's fine as long as they just remove themselves or go back. Because what happens sometimes when people are ill at ease, for their own reasons, they don't want to be part of it, so they want to like take away from the people who are participating.
Right.
So that's the only thing I would say to someone if they don't want to let go and do it. Like, just kind of step back then, because it's never meant to be a mocking one another. Like,
Right.
oh, you look like an idiot. It's meant to be, yes, we all look so like wacky, but we're enjoying it together. And when you look at each other, I mean, I have to say there have been a lot of guys that have given into it. Like, I've done sessions at Binghamton University at their lunchtime. Last week I did it for, believe it or not, a group of engineers in Princeton. And the guys who chose to come, there was more women there than men, but the guys who chose to come had a great time. And so I think it's certain personality types, no doubt, and I don't know how you change that, but I definitely do say to people, you know what, we're going to look ridiculous together, and we're going to do this, and all I can say is give it a shot, and hopefully at the end you'll feel better.
So
less stressed.
My guess is you often see then someone coming in as a skeptic and leaving as a believer, somebody that got into it and had fun in the end.
Yeah, and I won't tell you that, like, oh, I've changed everybody. I can't tell you
Right.
that I've done that, because in fact last week there was a woman who came in and she had a look of,
Yeah, okay.
and I thought, oh my goodness. And I actually started out it was a lunchtime kind of thing. I started out with some humor, some comedy. She didn't laugh much at that, and I'm like, oh boy, in the back of my head, I'm, oh, this is going to be tricky. And I made sure that I instructed them when we got up and it was the participation for laughter yoga. You don't have to do this, by no means. I mean, the fact that they came to this workshop to begin with was voluntary, and I said, I never want to force people or make them uncomfortable. Plus, it just takes away from other people who do want to do it. She actually left. So she didn't stay for those, and that's fine.
Sometimes it's probably the best.
It's probably best, because she wouldn't have probably enjoyed it. But I can say that I have seen people change, even if it's small, and it makes me feel really good, because it's not just me, it's like the whole energy of the room, and you can't help but feel positive with that. I did it once for a session, and the woman wouldn't participate fully. She was in the back of the room, but we do a lot of chants of ho, ho, ha, ha, and we do clapping. She wouldn't do the full exercises, but from the beginning of standing like this to the end, she was clapping and doing the chant. So I thought it got to her a little bit.
Sure.
So every little bit is a small victory. You can't change in an hour, you know what I mean? You can, but if someone like sees it and they go, well, maybe next time, it's not so bad. You can change little by little, I think, which is good.
I guess also to have a few positive people in the group, that can become infectious as well.
Yes.
I know in doing theater, there's certain people that we know and we hope they're in the audience because they have that big belly laugh that seems to initiate it and get the rest of the audience to follow them in laughing, where sometimes they're a little hesitant to laugh
Yep.
out loud. We don't laugh out loud at home watching TV.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of times a live audience won't laugh either, but if you have that one or two infectious laughter people out there, they get the whole place going.
Absolutely. Although it's funny because, and the research I've read too, it's interesting. It talks about how we don't typically laugh by ourselves at home. Although I was watching Stephen Colbert last night and I did actually.
Well, yeah, it happens. It does happen.
It seems weird to do that, like to laugh out loud to yourself, but we don't typically. And you're right, it is contagious. So when, I do stand up as well, and you're right, when one person gets it going, it's almost like people look for permission.
Yes.
Because when it's coming, and obviously there are two different things I like to say. Laughter yoga is not based in humor like comedy is, but even with comedy, sometimes in a club or at a show or whatever, people are funny about what they laugh at, because it's like, ooh, if I laugh at this joke, does this mean that I'm having trouble with my marriage because the premise is about marriage? People are so interesting about that, but if one person really laughs, like you said, a belly laugh, it gives permission for everybody to laugh, and it's the best thing because it is contagious. Sometimes people are laughing just at someone else's laugh because
Right.
it's so loud and booming, and that's the great part with laughter yoga. That's what it's hoping to build on that energy. So when you have a few people that are really giggling and they're making eye contact, it makes other people giggle.
Yeah.
Even I've gone to places where I just say, okay, we're going to do laughter yoga today, and I say it and they kind of giggle because they're like, what the heck is
Well,
laughter
yeah,
yoga?
it does kind of sound like a little off the wall.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
nobody's, especially if you've never heard of it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how about this World Laughter Day now? Tell us a little bit about that. Coming to Scranton, right?
Yep.
Sunday, May 6th, where?
It's going to be held at Nay Aug Park. It's going to be at the pavilion that's right next to the pool there. It's a beautiful pavilion. There's a lot of outdoor space. And World Laughter Day was started by the same man who started Laughter Yoga, Dr. Kataria in India. He started Laughter Yoga first, and then he started this movement, World Laughter Day, to get people, obviously, we know we should be laughing every day. It's good for us. But to have one day at least where we can recognize it. And there's over 62 countries that do some kind of celebration. And there will be different celebrations across the United States. I've been doing World Laughter Day events for the past probably 6 years. I started small doing comedy shows, and last year's the first year I did something in the park in Nay Aug. So this year we'll be in the park again, and it's from 12:30 to 3:30 at Nay Aug, as I said, at the pavilion. I'll be doing laughter yoga. It will be free, so people can come out and take advantage. Every 30 minutes I'll be doing about a 5 to 10 minute session of laughter yoga. We're going to have kids joke telling. That will be at 1:30. We did that last year, and let me tell you, these kids were not shy. They loved getting up on the microphone and telling their joke. So every kid who shows up from the ages of 5 to 11 will have a chance to tell a joke on the microphone, and we'll give them a little prize. And we're also going to have local artist Judy Ushak, who's from Heart to Art. They do the community murals. She'll be there, so people inspired hopefully by laughter and feeling good can go over and paint a little bit on this playful mural. And when that's finished, we'll do the prints of that in a couple weeks, and that will benefit the nonprofit Humor Therapy Fund of the Scranton Area Foundation. And we'll also have at the park that day basket raffles, and those donations will also go to benefit the Humor Therapy Fund as well.
Wow, sounds like a great day over there at the park.
It's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun.
Is there a website they can visit for all this information?
Yes, they can go to laughtolive.net. I'll even have some links from last year so people can see what the laughter yoga is like, and I'll have all the details there as well.
Okay, and how about if they want to get in touch with you to have you come down and do some laughter yoga, say at their business or at a senior center somewhere? Can they get in touch with you there as well?
They can. Laughtolive.net is the website, and there's the email there, info@laughtolive.net, and I think we'll have my phone number on the screen as well. People can give me a call. If they just want some more information, I'll be glad to share that as well.
Laughter yoga. Do you have to like get into the lotus position to laugh?
No,
Do you need Ben Gay if you're going to do this type of laughter stuff?
No, people have asked me that, and I said I'm not trained to do that's much more extensive training to do like the prana and that kind of yoga. I can't imagine, because I've done it and I love it, but I can't imagine trying to laugh while in downward dog or like a tree pose, because that takes focus for me anyway with balance, so I can't even imagine that.
Well, Jeannine, thanks for stopping by and telling us all about World Laughter Day as well as laughter yoga in general. We could all use a good laugh once in a while, so head over to Nay Aug Park on May 6th, visit Jeannine, get involved in the events that are going on there, or if maybe you want Jeannine to come out to your place of business or your senior center, go to, what was that website again?
Laughtolive.net.
Laughtolive.net, and let's all get laughing together.